Go before the end of the school year. Some students and teachers in Etowah County will be forced to find another school to attend. A fire broke out at Highland Elementary School on Tabor Road around 9 o'clock last night, and now investigators are working to find out just what started the blaze. Here's ABC 3340's Chris Tatum with more.
It's just like part of your life being taken away from you.
Debbie Elliott has 31 years invested in Highland School, 7 as a student, 24 as a teacher. Thursday night, she stood beside fellow faculty members as the school they love, the school that's been such a big part of their lives, went up in smoke, and a lifetime of memories became buried in the charred rubble.
I teach in the same classroom that I was in the 1st and 2nd grade in, and I just thought back to when I was a child.
Teachers held hands, held each other as the blaze lit up the night sky just north of Gadsden. It spread quickly through the 50-some-odd-year-old building, tangling tin, melting metal, and crumbling concrete. It demolished the school with just 4 days left in the school year.
Now, this community is a real strong community-oriented that's built around this school.
Even the superintendent came out to comfort teachers. He's been working to improve Highland School, like building this new cafeteria. Now it's about all that's left.
Certainly there was some wood structure in the roofing, you know, that was covered up and all that, but once the fire got into that, it moved very quickly.
But these teachers are a source of strength for each other, and while they're not sure what's next for the school or themselves,
we always back each other up, and we'll do that this time. We'll just work together as a team.
Right now, their greatest concern is their students. In Etowah County, Chris Tatum. Good Morning, Alabama.
Obviously, the classes are canceled for today, but school officials hope to come up with a plan for finishing that school year over the weekend. They also plan to meet with the state fire marshal to continue that investigation sometime today. And coming up in just a few hours, jury selection will resume in the mass murder trial of Donald Ray Wheat. Just over 100 of 200 prospective jurors packed the Anniston courtroom yesterday. The rest will be back this morning. 12 of them, though, will ultimately decide his fate. He's accused of killing 4 young men at a Blockbuster video store in Anniston. Prospective jurors were handed a 32-page questionnaire yesterday, due back in court, by the way, at 9 o'clock this morning. Some are saying better late than never. The state Senate finally passed a bill that will allow Shelby County the chance to vote possibly on a 9 mil tax increase. County educators had hoped to hold that referendum this past Tuesday, but the bill was bogged down by some other Senate activity. One anti-tax faction is calling that delay a blessing.
It gives us time to explain the downsides of this tax and why it's not necessary.
Well, Shelby County Superintendent Dr. Evan Major says he's glad that the bill has now passed. He says it's time to figure when to schedule the vote. Major says it won't happen until at least the fall. And speaking of taxes, Governor Bob Riley will push a new tax plan in a special session beginning Monday. Last night in Hanceville, Riley stumped for what he calls the largest tax hike in Alabama history. Riley spoke at a commencement for Wallace State Community College. He says the state's need is great, but the Treasury is small. He expects taxpayers to step it up, but also wants the lawmakers to pitch in too.
So what we're bringing is a reform package that has accountability, has reform, and has taxes. And then we're going to bring it to the people and say, you decide. If you really want to reform government once and for all, this is the way to do it.
Riley's plan would increase taxes for families with incomes over $75,000 a year. Families making less than $17,000 per year, though, would pay no income tax. The Reverend Jesse Jackson wants all Alabama lawmakers to push to make hiring practices more fair. He addressed the Black Legislative Caucus yesterday in Montgomery and maintains that Mike Shula got the recent Alabama football job, even though African-American candidate Sylvester Croom had more experience. Both are Alabama alums. Neither was considered for the previous opening, though. Jackson is encouraging the state Black Caucus to hold a summit later this year to address hiring issues at the University of Alabama. While new coach Mike Shula is preparing his players for a new start and a new season at the Tide, there's still some unfinished business for the university, according to Mike Price's attorney, Steve Henninger. We sat down to talk to Coach Price's attorney, make that, who's trying to pick up the pieces for Price as well as salvage some money and his reputation. Here's ABC 3340's Brenda LeDunn.
In my judgment, he is not due any severance.
The university president doesn't appear to be open to negotiations, but Mike Price's attorney says not so fast.
He had a guaranteed contract. So we're going to be pushing for the terms of the contract.
But why does he believe Price deserves any money from a contract that was never signed?
Well, in Alabama, if you've got a written agreement that the parties intend to sign, it's a contract.
And he says if the university won't listen to him, they'll both have to tell their stories to a judge in court because he'll file a lawsuit to get the university to pay up.
We've got written confirmation. We've got letters confirming the annual salary and signed by the university.
While the university has moved on with new Bama coach Mike Shula, Henniger says the Price family can't.
They have unfinished business here in Alabama right now, his name and reputation, and getting compensated.
As for the Price's reputation, Henniger hasn't ruled out a lawsuit against Sports Illustrated.
I haven't seen any evidence yet that he was framed, but we're turning over everything we can. We've been to Pensacola, we're going back to Pensacola. We're going to get to the truth, and the people will know the truth.
Henniger also says reports that Coach Price had been warned before the Pensacola incident is not true.
The unfortunate thing is we may have gotten our story out too late because the university wouldn't let Coach Price talk.
Brenda LeDunn, ABC 3340.
So you may be wondering what's next for Coach Price. His attorney says when the truth comes out, he's hopeful that Coach Price will end up back in coaching. The streets of downtown Birmingham will be jam-packed for the weekend annual city stages. This is the 15th year. Since Tuesday, event organizers have been setting up the tents and getting ready for the big 3-day block party. The festival area fills more than a dozen square blocks downtown, and don't forget, portions of several streets are already closed for that event. Organizers hope for a high turnout this year. Now, at times in years past, weather has hurt their numbers, but the good music, food, and family activities have always drawn a crowd. We understand that the National Weather Service is setting up a temporary office at the downtown site. Dozens of bands will perform from tonight through Sunday, and this year's headliners include Bob Dylan. He's performing at 8:30 at the Miller Lite stage. Nickel Creek will be on the Blockbuster stage at 9:15. Other big names this weekend include Willie Nelson and family, along with Buddy Guy, Ludacris, Maze, featuring Frankie Beverly too. The controversial girl group, the Dixie Chicks, will also perform tonight in the Magic City. The group making a stop in Birmingham while on their Top of the World tour. That concert happens at 7 o'clock at the BJCC. Concert that was sold out, by the way, back in March. Well, the Coosa Riverfront in downtown Gadsden is ready for another big night of music and fun. Riverfest events continue this afternoon, starting at 4 o'clock. Country music artists Chad Bronk and Daryl Singletary. Tomorrow, more of the same with Gary Puckett and Styx. Plus, there's the Spirit of America fireworks show that will happen at 9 o'clock. Well, it was the first we've seen in 3 years, and just in case you missed it, a look back at last night's lunar eclipse coming up. Right now, 5:08 and 67 degrees outside. We'll tell you how your weekend shapes up in just a few moments.
Now live from Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, and Anniston, this is Good Morning Alabama with Keisa Sharpe and weather with meteorologist Mark Praiter.
It's a real deal on Alabama's biggest inventory of Kubota tractors at Tuscaloosa Tractor, featuring the Kubota MX 5000 50-horse diesel. It comes with a 6-foot rotary cutter, 6-foot disc, and 6-foot box blade, all for only $15,990. And during this real deal sale, you get 0% APR for 36 months, 2.99% APR for 60 months, a 3-year warranty, free delivery and service after the sale. Tuscaloosa Tractor and Kubota's real deal. Come see why we sell more.
I've been buying cars at Edward Chevrolet since I was 18 years old.
Just signed the papers, and 5 minutes later, truck was mine.
Financing was excellent.
Edwards had the best deal I could ever find.
No pressure at Edwards, no hassle at Edwards.
I came on the lot and I found exactly what I wanted.
And I found out that I could get what I wanted for the amount of money that I wanted from Edward Chevrolet.
No one else could give us a deal as good as Edward Chevrolet.
Chevyman. Weather is severe and seconds count. Look to ABC 3340 for E-Warn. Immediate weather warnings from the National Weather Service to a pager, cell phone, or computer. E-Warn sends tornado, severe weather, and flood warnings straight to you. Log on to abc3340.com. Click on Weather and the E-Warn registration. It's fast and free. It's your personal weather warning. E-Warn, brought to you by Pizza Hut, ABC 3340, Alabama's news leader. Ready to turn a weekend into a great getaway? Watch ABC 3340 News at noon every Friday for Destination Friday. This week, make Alabama's own Visionland theme park your destination. See what's new this year and find out how your family can get in on the action. Destination Friday, only on ABC 3340.
I'm Vicki Burns.
And I'm Wayne Burns. And if you love hunting and fishing, be sure to join us each Saturday morning at 5:30 a.m.
It's Alabama Whitetail Adventure right here on ABC 3340.
My dad said stack them high and sell them low, so I thought this might help out.
Ronnie Watkins 40's stacking them high and selling them low. New F-150s, equipped, not stripped, just $229 a month after $500 down. Drive home a new Ranger or Mustang for only $150 a month. Fully equipped Expeditions with V8, third row seat, auxiliary heat and air, only $26,995.
I'm stacking them high and selling them low at Ronnie Watkins, and I promise I didn't scratch any new Fords.
Your news team at 10. The coverage. We're on the streets covering local news for you. ABC 3340 News at 10. Dave Baird, Brenda LeDun, meteorologist James Spann, and sports with Mike Raita. Your news team at 10.
Welcome back to Good Morning Alabama. The time now is 5:12 on a Friday morning. We thank you so much for joining us, and we're hoping that we're going to see a good weekend. A lot of things going on.
Well, I think we're still going to have our chances of some showers, maybe a thunderstorm or two, but we're going to have to wait and see when and where. That's the tricky part.
Okay.
But last night was a big night for the folks who like to check out lunar eclipses across the country. Just in case you missed it, we captured some video from last night. I had a chance to glimpse at it last night. And the total eclipse was the first visible one across the U.S. in 3 years. A total lunar occurs when the full moon passes into the Earth's shadow and is blocked from the sun's rays that normally illuminate it. Pretty cool looking stuff there. Now, we did have a few clouds pass by last night, so it was a little trickier trying to see some of the lunar eclipse in a few spots, but it wasn't totally invisible. But as we show you what's going on across central Alabama, the radar is pretty quiet, and it looks like things are starting out on a good note this morning, but we do have some fog out there to talk about. In some areas, we're going to see the fog a little more dense than others as we start off this Friday and head into the weekend. Now, as we look at temperatures, that is kind of telling the story as far as why we've got a little fog. Our temperatures have warmed up. A little muggier out there, a little more tropical air in place, and with those temperatures into the upper 60s, our dew points have come up some. So with the moisture close to the surface or the ground, we're looking at a close match with temperatures and dew points, and a lot of times we'll see fog start to develop when we get the atmosphere this moist and tropical. But right now there's no rain to show you across Alabama. The scattered showers which we had in the southern counties earlier have since dissipated, and it looks like we're going to start off pretty good shape. But our predictor system starting to show a few scattered showers from time to time, not only starting this evening into tonight, but maybe even this afternoon in a few spots. Tomorrow as well as Sunday, they're going to be hit and miss showers and a few thunderstorms, and some of these might happen to fall right across Birmingham for city stages and a few other locations as well. But as you look out towards the west, you'll see the rain and thunderstorms still continue, as most of Arkansas will see another round of rain and thunderstorms, that is, and then that will make its way towards Alabama and eventually bring us a little better chance of rain by the second half of the weekend. So as we look at the cloud cover, it's still in place across Alabama, but there have been a few pockets to open up. And with fog developing, it makes it look like we've got more cloud cover actually on the visible, or actually infrared satellite view. But looking towards the north, you'll see a frontal boundary just to the north of Alabama. This was the warm front here yesterday. Tomorrow, we'll see a front become better organized out over Texas with an area of low pressure. That will be headed our direction. And by Saturday night, as well as into Sunday, we could see some healthy thunderstorms back into our area again. So as we look at our forecast for today, partly cloudy. A few showers possible with a high temperature of 82. Winds will continue out of the southwest at around 5 to 12. And that chance of rain will continue into tonight. We'll have much more on the extended forecast in just a minute. Keisa.
Okay, thanks, Mark. The world of country music mourns the loss of June Carter Cash. She's the wife of country music legend Johnny Cash. She died in Nashville yesterday after suffering from complications from heart surgery that she had last week. She was a songwriter, a musician, actress, author, and Grammy Award-winning singer. June Carter Cash was 74 years old. More employees received their pink slips from Health South. We'll tell you about the latest round of job cuts coming up. But first,
Wall Street gets ready to close out another trading week with a full plate of earnings and economic news. Details coming up in the Bloomberg Business Report.
Courtesy Pontiac Buick GMC is the right choice. Courtesy is Birmingham's only Pontiac GMC dealer to receive the coveted GM Mark of Excellence Award. And now Courtesy has 2003 GMC Sierras starting at only $16,995. And every Courtesy Pontiac Buick GMC has 0% financing for 5 years. Courtesy is Courtesy, Alabama's largest Pontiac Buick GMC dealer. Highway 11 and I-459, Trussville.
Just add water and the fun begins at Recreational Factory Warehouse. How about your own backyard pool? Choose from the biggest selection anywhere. Family-size pool package, everything you need, only $4.99. The fun doesn't stop there. Relax and unwind in your own spa. Portable spas and hot tubs as low as $8.99. And we make paying fun, too. Special financing available. No money down, 0% interest, low monthly payment. The fun's all here. Recreational Factory Warehouse, your family's fun center. Red Mountain Plaza, Homewood.
I printed and collated the color report that won the big account and got us into a larger office. And this is the respect I get? I need a hug.
Toshiba copiers make you look good.
I'm digital. I'm wireless. I practically drive this company. He's got a pocket protector and drives a minivan. I just don't get it.
Toshiba copiers make you look good.
Kilpatrick Chevy in Boaz offers this area's best inventory of commercial trucks, from 1500 series up to 8500 series, ready for any body or truck bed you need in your business or use. Kilpatrick keeps all engines and transmissions, including Duramax diesels and Allison automatics. Mike Casey and Mark Diggs are commercial truck specialists. Call or come by. Kilpatrick Chevy, commercial truck sales in Boaz, has the truck you need.
At Pierson Buick in Gadsden, we're offering this area's largest selection of new 2003 Buick LeSabres. We're offering this beautiful sedan for an unbelievable price of $21,997. LeSabre has been the #1 selling sedan for years, and once you drive one, you'll know why. Get more for your money in Buick LeSabre, now as low as $21,997. Or you can choose 0% financing for 60 months at Pierson Chevrolet Buick Jeep in Gadsden.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Saturn.
It's 5:18 and welcome back to Good Morning Alabama. A check now with the latest financial news in the Bloomberg Report.
Good morning. Wall Street's focus on the economy and earnings will continue today. Economic reports on consumer prices, housing starts, and consumer confidence will all be released this morning. In terms of earnings, Dell Computer said first quarter profit rose 31% as its PCs and server computers gained market share. However, the stock is moving lower overseas after Dell's forecast for the current quarter disappointed some investors. Meanwhile, low-price department store chain Kohl's says first quarter earnings rose 4.1%. That's the smallest gain for Kohl's since 1995. The company said profit this period may also increase less than the average estimate of analysts surveyed by Thomson Financial. After this quick break, we'll take a look at what sent stocks higher on Thursday.
Bloomberg's Business Report is brought to you by Sprint, introducing PCS Vision.
You're Frank. Urgent meeting change.
Dad, I put my face in the water.
EVP and IT TBD. Happens every time my people travel.
Backed up emails. Couldn't find a phone jack for my laptop.
May I? The PCS connection card from Sprint makes laptop connections wireless, so anyone in your company can exchange emails or access your internet when they're out.
Client dinner canceled.
That's efficient.
For everyone.
Get PCS connection cards from Sprint for your business and make laptop connections wireless.
Stocks climbed Thursday after companies released quarterly results that beat expectations. An economic report suggested the economy may be strengthening. The Dow rose 65 points. The S&P picked up 7. The Nasdaq gained 16 points. The Matrix Reloaded could break Spider-Man's record as the highest-grossing opening film in history. AOL Time Warner's sequel to The Matrix opened on Wednesday, and analysts say the movie may generate as much as $125 million in its first 5 days at the box office. Online movie ticket broker Fandango says advanced ticket sales were going at a rate of 2 tickets per second. That's business news. At the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Lori Rothman with the Bloomberg Business Report.
More people leaving their jobs at HealthSouth. That's because yesterday the healthcare giant announced that they're laying off an additional 80 workers and getting rid of one of their airplanes, all to trim costs. The plane is a jet that was leased to HealthSouth. The company that owns it had sued the company to get the plane back and recover $9 million in missed payments. HealthSouth has trimmed about 2,000 people from its payroll. Next in sports, the state baseball and softball playoffs are underway. Your highlights from the Diamond coming up straight ahead.
When it's finally time to move on, the new Saturn Ion Quad Coupe has a 140 horsepower engine, rear access doors, and a fold flat seat, so you can fit your bed, your bookshelves, your coffee table, your TV stand, and your chairs, which leaves just enough room for your desk. Get a 2003 Saturn Ion, L Series, or View at 0% APR financing for 5 years. For restrictions, see your retailer.
Hi, I'm Heather. Take some time this weekend and come see what I've got.
It's all here. Guns, ammo, accessories, jewelry, and much, much more at the all-new Ernie Bean Great Southern Gun and Knife Show. Collectors and hunters, this show's for you. Buy, sell, swap, trade, come early, and bring a friend.
It's just for you. Bigger and better than ever.
It's the one, the only one. The Ernie Bean Great Southern Gun and Knife Show.
Sure as shooting. I'll probably see you there.
One pizza, one pizzone.
What's a pizzone? The Pizzone. It's back at Pizza Hut. Now get any large pizza for your family and get a pizzone of your own for only $2.99. What's a pizzone? It's a big taste in a big folded pizza crust filled with cheese and luscious ingredients like pepperoni or fresh veggies, plus marinara sauce. Just $2.99 with any large pizza at regular price. Or get a pizzone alone for just $5.99. No one makes the whole family happy like Pizza Hut. So this is a pizzone.
Know what can give our age away as much as wrinkles? Loss of firmness. Neutrogena Visibly Firm, the only moisturizer that replenishes copper, the collagen-building mineral essential for firm skin. Want to be firmer here, here, here? I do. Neutrogena Visibly Firm.
Roses are red, violets are blue. Splenda is sweet, and so are you.
Almost anywhere you use sugar, you can use Splenda, the no-calorie sweetener that's made from sugar, so it tastes like sugar.
Good Friday morning, everybody. One more round. That was Clay Chalkful's motto this year, a reference to last year when they lost in the semis. Next year's motto? How about 2 is better than 1? They made it look easy against Baker, game 2 of the best of 3 yesterday. They had 3 rain delays, but when they were playing, the Cougars were doing things right. Second inning, Jake Langley with an RBI double to the gap that tied it at 1. The Cougars got a nice game from Brandon Flaherty. This is one of his 8 strikeouts. He went the distance for the Cougars. In the 6th, Levi Patton with a single to center. That drives home Tyler Page with what turned out to be the game winner. 3-2 the final, and after being eliminated in the semis last year, Coach Jeff Malden and the Cougars get that state title.
Now I know what Sammy Dunn feels like, and the guys at Daphne last year. It's just an unbelievable feeling. Really a loss for words because you don't know what to say because so many emotions are running through your head.
And they get that blue trophy. That's the big one. Blue means you're the champions. It's the first baseball state title in school history. In 5A, Coleman trying to repeat. St. Paul's trying to sweep. Game 2 of their best of 3. 1-0 St. Paul's in the second. Drew Sims with a behemothly bombastic shot to left made it 2-0. And that's all Daniel Roberts needed. He threw a no-hitter against Sylacauga last week. 4 1/3 solid innings yesterday. St. Paul's wins it 10-1 the final score. In 2A yesterday, Gordo beat Hatton 6-4. They lead that series 1-0. And in 1A, Holy Spirit beat Hackleburg 4-2. Girls softball yesterday. This is Hueytown and Lee Montgomery in 6A. And look at the effort from Hueytown's Christy Finneran on the foul ball. But Lee wins the game 3-2. Hueytown's in the losers bracket. In 4A, this is Bibb County taking on East Lawrence. Bibb County batting in the 6th. Christine Miller with a rope. It's an RBI single. Bibb County wins 4-1. They are through to the finals. And the rain really played havoc with yesterday's softball schedule. We'll update you tonight at 5 and 6. College softball yesterday. The Tide hosting an NCAA regional taking on Southern University. Lacey Prejean had a monster game. 2 homers and a triple. 11 total bases. That set a school record. The Tide wins it 10-1. They play Illinois today at noon. The Braves started a 4-game series in San Diego yesterday. They scored 8 in the 5th. Marcus Giles was 4 for 6 with 3 RBIs. The Braves win 15-6.
Back is Harris. Here is motion by Donaldson. Back to the near side and now reverses his field, goes to the wide side of the field. Berger sets up the throw. Oh my! Touchdown Auburn! Touchdown Auburn! Touchdown Auburn! Tillman at the baseline of the end zone.
My most vivid memory of Jim Fyffe had nothing to do with football. I played in Jim's foursome during the first Bruno's Media golf outing. At the par 3 7th, Jim hit an ugly tee shot. It must have bounced 15 times, and on the final bounce, it bounced right into the cup, a hole-in-one. Jim's knees went weak. I thought for a minute he might faint or have a heart attack. He played the rest of the round, and then he drove away in the brand-new Buick he won with his ace.
Florida's got the big rush on Nix. He floats one in the end zone. It is caught. Touchdown Auburn! Sanders caught it. Touchdown Auburn! Touchdown Auburn! Frank Sanders from Nix. Auburn's ahead. Auburn's ahead.
We will miss Jim Fyffe. That'll do it for what's happening in the world of sports. Be sure and join us tonight at 5 and 6 for all the latest. Have a great Friday, everybody.
And as broadcasters, we've had a chance to meet him as well and think about his family and what they're going through right now. Jim was a good guy.
He was a good guy.
Well, let's turn now to a look at the radar and show you what's going on here locally. You'll see that things are still very quiet. We do have some fog across central Alabama, but we do expect some sunshine to peek through a little bit later, and the chance of showers and thunderstorms, just can't shake them yet. We'll talk about that in the forecast coming up in just a couple of minutes.
Thank you, Mark. And we'll see you, too, in just a couple of minutes with more on your top stories. Fire investigators search for answers into a blaze that destroyed an East Alabama elementary school. We'll tell you what's next for the students. People in Shelby County may soon head to the polls to vote on a property tax increase. They need it. We'll have more of your morning headlines coming up.
The easiest way to your next car or truck is at exit 76 off I-59. That's where you'll find us, Barkley Pontiac-Cadillac-GMC.
We're a GM Mark of Excellence dealer, and we make it easy by giving you Bama's best prices and backing it up with service that's second to none.
Because we give you more for your trade, there's always a great selection of quality used cars and trucks, plus GM program vehicles.
So let us show you how easy it is to make one of them yours, Barkley and Tuscaloosa.
We're professional grade.
Stand up and cheer, Alabama! Cooper Chevrolet's Economic Recovery Program gives you back your purchasing power and makes buying your new or used vehicle easy and hassle-free, even if you've had past credit problems. Special financing options as low as 0% or rebates up to $3,500 on new 2003 Chevrolets, including S10s, Trackers, and Cavaliers. Program Stand Up and Cheer, Alabama! Your economic recovery is on the way because at Cooper, you always get the lowest price.
Put a Dodge in your garage from Jasper Chrysler Dodge. Ram pickups start at $14,990. Quad cabs or loaded caravans just $19,990. Or pay no interest for 5 years. Your lowest Dodge price is at Jasper Chrysler Dodge, where one sale sells another. Honda prices just got lower at Jasper Honda. Civics are just $147 a month plus 1.9 APR for 5 years. Accords a low $209 a month. Or get 4.9 APR for 5 years on pre-owned Hondas. Jasper Honda, where one sale sells another.
AirLink 3340, covering news for you.
Good morning, Alabama. I'm Keisa Sharpe, and here are the stories making headlines today. Some students and teachers in East Alabama will be forced to start all over at the end of the school year. A fire destroyed their school. We'll have the latest coming up. Prospective jurors head back to a courtroom today in a mass murder trial in Anniston. And folks across central Alabama are ready to party. We'll tell you what's in store coming up. These are three of the stories that we're following. It's Friday, May 16th.
Now, live, it's ABC 3340 News. Good morning, Alabama.
Good morning, Alabama, and welcome in on this Friday morning. I'm Keisa Sharpe.
And I'm Mark Praiter. We're starting out with a cloudy day in some spots, foggy in others, but we are looking at the radar across the southeast, and as we show you the graphics, you'll see that the radar loop over the past 12 hours not showing much in the way of rain around, well, central and north Alabama. We are looking for spots to start out dry here locally, but there is going to be a chance of rain returning. We'll talk about that in the forecast and much more in just a few minutes. Keisa.
Thank you, Mark. No class today for some students and teachers in Etowah County. Last night, a massive fire ripped through their school, leaving only a frame behind. Flames quickly spread through Highland Elementary School around 9 o'clock last night, demolished that school with only 4 days left in the school year. The school has been working hard on some improvements like building a new cafeteria. Well, last night, several school officials came out to comfort the teachers.
There was some wood structure in the roofing, you know, that was covered up and all that, but once the fire got into that, it moved very quickly.
School leaders hope to come up with a plan for finishing the school year over the weekend, and they also plan to meet with the state fire marshal sometime today. Well, coming up next week, it will be business as normal at an Inslee school. Cleanup work has been finished at the fire-damaged Bush Middle School. Bush was badly damaged by a smoky fire last month. A company contracted to clean up the school has now finished all the scrubbing, painting, and carpet cleaning. School workers will move furniture back into the school tomorrow. Students will be back in class, though, coming up Monday. Jury selection resumes today in the mass murder trial of Donald Weed. More than 200 prospective jurors packed the Anniston courtroom yesterday. 12 of them will ultimately decide Weed's fate. He's accused of killing 4 young men at a Blockbuster video store. Prospective jurors were handed a 32-page questionnaire yesterday. They're due back in court coming up at 9 o'clock this morning. And the folks out in Shelby County could soon be paying some higher taxes. The state Senate finally passed a bill that may allow the county a chance to vote on a possible 9 mil tax increase. County educators had hoped to hold the referendums this past Tuesday, but the bill got bogged down by other Senate activity. Shelby County School Superintendent Evan Major says he's glad that the bill has now passed, but says it's time to figure out just when to schedule the vote. Major says it won't happen until at least the fall. No property tax increase, though, in the city of Cullman. Voters there defeated a proposal to give more money to schools by increasing the tax. Just over 1,900 people voted against it, but only 1,400 were for it. The defeat may bring cuts in school programs like sports and art. It is the second time in 2 years that that proposal has been defeated. The Reverend Jesse Jackson wants state lawmakers to push to make hiring practices more fair. Jackson addressed the Black Legislative Caucus in Montgomery yesterday, maintaining that Mike Shula got the recent Alabama football job, even though African-American candidate Sylvester Croom had more experience. Both are Alabama alums. Neither was considered for the previous opening. Jackson is encouraging the state Black Caucus to hold a summit coming up later this year to address the hiring issues at the University of Alabama. Crews in Birmingham will be working overtime this weekend to help with flood cleanup. Flood victims have stacked ruined furniture and clothing on the curb in many parts of Birmingham. Public Works officials say nearly 33 tons of items lost in the flood was hauled away Monday in the Collegeville area. Trucks will make another run Saturday, though, to try and help flood victims get rid of wet and molding items. This morning, Auburn fans are remembering the life of veteran broadcaster Jim Fyffe. He'd been behind the mic at Auburn football and basketball games for the last 22 years. Well, he died yesterday at a Montgomery hospital after he suffered an aneurysm. Funeral services for Fyffe will be held coming up tomorrow at the First United Methodist Church in Montgomery, and a graveside service will follow at Greenwood Cemetery. More employees have received their pink slips from Health South. We'll tell you about the latest round of job cuts coming up. This morning, Hollywood mourns the loss of another popular figure in the entertainment industry. Those stories and more when we come back.
Finding out the truth behind the brutal son of Sam.
Any way you look at it, now's the right time to get a powerful, rugged Nissan. It's Memorial Day savings time at Nissan. Get 0.9% APR financing for 60 months or $1,500 cash back on lots of tough Nissan trucks and SUVs. Hurry to your Nissan dealer for Memorial Day savings, because June 2nd, time's up.
From the splendor of the mountains to the peaceful waters of the Gulf, Alabama's 6 state park resorts offer an abundance of natural beauty. And with full-service convention facilities, there's no finer place to mix business with pleasure. Since many of our resorts have recently been renovated, the parks are a more exciting destination than ever. Call 1-800-ALA-PARK to find out more. And picture yourself at an unforgettable meeting or family vacation in an Alabama state park resort.
Buy, sell, or trade. Hunters and collectors, this show is for you. Probably the largest selection anywhere, so don't miss out. Sure as shooting, I'll probably see you there.
If you think it's hard to fit 15 baseball games into a 5-day tournament,
Try fitting 15 games of highlights into 30 seconds. The SEC Baseball Tournament, May 21st to the 25th at the Hoover Met. Don't miss a second of it.
Meet the folks who will save you thousands on your next vehicle. Here's a typical American couple in search of a great deal on their dream car. They know that even with the 0% interest rate offers, new cars are still priced too high. They chose to go to Anthony Underwood Automotive, the pre-owned superstore. Anthony Underwood Automotive is just what they're looking for.
Like new vehicles? I like new prices. Why go anywhere else?
Kilpatrick Chevy in Boaz offers this area's best inventory of commercial trucks, from 1500 series up to 8500 series, ready for any body or truck bed you need in your business or use. Kilpatrick keeps all engines and transmissions, including Duramax diesels and Allison automatics. Mike Casey and Mark Diggs are commercial truck specialists. Call or come by. Kilpatrick Chevy, commercial truck sales in Boaz, has the truck you need.
This portion of the news is brought to you by your local Volkswagen dealer.
At 5:36, welcome back to Good Morning Alabama. On this Friday morning, more people are leaving their jobs and having to go elsewhere from HealthSouth. Yesterday, the healthcare giant announced that they will lay off 80 workers and get rid of one of its airplanes to cut costs. That plane is a jet that was leased to HealthSouth. The company that owns it had sued HealthSouth to get the plane back and recover $9 million in missed payments. HealthSouth has trimmed about 2,000 people from the payroll. Also this morning, Alabama state troopers want to make sure that you're safe in traveling this summer. The state is kicking off a new advertising campaign that aims to get more people to buckle up.
Should have buckled your seatbelt, you idiot. Click it.
The campaign aims to get more men to wear their seat belts. Statistics show only 60% of men in Alabama buckle up compared to 90% of women. It's a $25 fine if you're caught without your seatbelt on.
A $25 fine is pales in comparison to the cost of hospital care, physical therapy, increased insurance premiums, and yes, funerals.
That annual Click It or Ticket campaign starts Monday. The crackdown includes some random roadblocks and will run through June 1st. Right now, though, we turn to Mark Praiter.
All right, thanks, Keisa. Hollywood is mourning the loss of two popular stars in the entertainment industry. June Carter Cash, the wife of country music legend Johnny Cash, died in Nashville yesterday after suffering from complications from heart surgery she had last week. She was a songwriter, musician, actress, author, and Grammy-winning singer. June Carter Cash was 74. And the actor best known for his role as Elliot Ness in TV's The Untouchables, and who later gained further fame as the host of Unsolved Mysteries, has died. Robert Stack's wife found him Wednesday in their Los Angeles home. She says he died of heart failure. Stack was 84 years old. Well, here's what's up, and this, of course, coming out of Hollywood. Tommy Chong and the infamous Cheech and Chong is in trouble with the law. You wonder why? You guessed it, drugs. Chong has pled guilty to selling drug paraphernalia on behalf of his business called Nice Dreams Enterprises, which made a line of marijuana pipes and what are called bongs. Now, he claims he never sold them to minors, just adults. Guess that guarantees minors won't ever get a hold of them. Chong claims he doesn't smoke marijuana anymore and that he just does comedy speaking the straight truth. Honestly, we had him on our show at noon a couple of years ago, and all of his comedy he did in the air was about marijuana, which none of us or the station supports. Honestly, it was the worst interview I've ever had to do, but you've got to ask the man at his age why, with all of his money he should sell paraphernalia that would break the law and possibly end up in the hands of kids. What's up with Chong? That's what's up.
Wow, a biting what's up today.
Yeah, I threw in my little 2 cents, I guess. But, you know, hey, you know, the guy's in his 50s. He's teach their own. I know that's a whole nother discussion for another day. So let's talk about weather. We've got a little fog out there this morning. We'll tell you what's going to be happening with what we can expect throughout the weekend coming up.
Also today, giving you another chance to win your very own James Spann bobblehead doll. We'll be right back with your forecast, too.
Stand up and cheer, Alabama. Alabama, Cooper Chevrolet's Economic Recovery Program gives you back your purchasing power and makes buying your new or used vehicle easy and hassle-free, even if you've had past credit problems. Special financing options as low as 0% or rebates up to $3,500 on new 2003 Chevrolets, including S10s, Trackers, and Cavaliers. Program Stand Up and Cheer, Alabama. Your economic recovery is on the way because at Cooper, you always get the lowest price.
In the fast-track world of today's business, what does it really take for a better education, a better career, and a better life? One phone call. Learn to master the latest in today's business environment with expert training and job skills from Virginia College. Build a profitable career in administrative office management with fast-track classes that prepare you for success in the real world. Call Virginia College at Birmingham at 205-802-1200. That's 205-802-1200.
Birmingham, your time has come. Experience a whole new breed of racing at the debut of the best road course in America. The Barber Motorsports Park. May 16th through 18th. Porsche, Audi, Ferrari, and more. It's 3 days of heart-pounding intensity. It's motorsports perfection. Weekend passes just $35. Watch.
Balance. We all seek it. That space between extravagance and practicality. That feeling of contentment without compromise. The all-new, totally redesigned Accord. From Honda. Harmony has never been so close. Now you can lease a 2003 Accord LX sedan for $239 a month for 36 months.
Walked in, there wasn't nobody haggling us.
It happened so fast, I got excited.
I got a great deal.
They really seem to want to help you get the right car.
No pressure. It's definitely a good place to shop.
Financing was great. We got the lowest rate of anywhere.
The payments are real good.
It's definitely easy to do business here at Edwards.
From start to finish, we bought a car in about 30 minutes.
The price at Edwards Chevrolet just can't be beat.
Shop everywhere else but buy from Edwards.
Chevyman.
Mike Raita, only on ABC 3340.
Welcome back to Good Morning Alabama. The time now is approaching 5:43, and we're hoping that we'll see a good-looking weekend.
I wish we could say it's going to be perfect, but well, we're not done with the rain yet, and we just can't shake it. We're almost in a monsoon pattern as we've had these showers and thunderstorms on and off, as we have all seen over the past couple of weeks. But last night we had something special, and for those who are into the stellar field and stargazing, it was a great-looking night for a full lunar eclipse. Just in case you missed it, we got it on video right here from last night's eclipse. The total eclipse was the first visible one across the U.S. in 3 years. Now, a total lunar eclipse occurs when the full moon passes into the Earth's shadow and is blocked from the sun's rays that normally illuminate it. Actually, they just turned the light off. Sorry, that's the best I had. All right, here's a look at our temperatures. You're looking at 68 in Birmingham, as well as Tuscaloosa, 67 in Alabaster. Anniston, right now, we've got 64 degrees, so you're the cool spot. And in Gadsden, we're looking at 66. But as we start our day today, it's not as bad. There is some fog to talk about. We'll show you that in just a moment. But as we look at the temperatures across central Alabama, it's mild, it's muggy, and the radar's not really reflecting much in the way of rain. But as we go through the course of the day today, we could see more showers or a thunder shower popping up at any time. And we're not really looking at any problems in Alabama at this point. The rain which we had earlier is mainly just scattered thunderstorms which moved through parts of Georgia as well as into South Carolina. Now, as we zoom back out to our predictor system, this is the computer model which suggests what's going to be happening across the southeast. It's a composite of all the rain chances as well as cloud cover, and a few scattered showers are possible today. Looking out more towards the north and west, you'll see showers and thunderstorms will be a little more prevalent across parts of Arkansas, southern Missouri, as well as into eastern Oklahoma. What we'll have here is going to be scattered, and unfortunately, we could see some showers and some hefty thunderstorms at times, and that includes city stages and a number of events. So you got to be prepared for the rain across Alabama. because timing it and locating is going to be a little tricky as we go through the course in the next couple of days. Now, here is the cloud cover, which is moving into Alabama. We're still going to get some sunshine to break through, and that in turn will help to heat things up just a bit. But this is the real show right now across not only Texas, but also Oklahoma, as well as into Kansas. That area of low pressure is going to become better organized, shift our direction, and tomorrow we'll start to get some of the rain and thunderstorms associated with that. And then we'll look for the thunderstorms to increase as we get into the latter part of the weekend. Partly cloudy today, a few showers with a high of 82, winds out of the southwest at 5 to 12. And tonight we'll see temperatures into the, well, 60s, low 70s for most of us. And of course, we'll talk about our 7-day planner in just a few minutes. Keisa.
Thank you, Mark. Time now for you to enter to win the James Spann Bobblehead Contest. The first 20 callers, you get your very own. That number, 1-888-334-0222. Again, that's toll free here at ABC 3340, 888-334-0222. The phone lines are now open, and we'll have another opportunity for you to win coming up during our next hour here on Good Morning Alabama. Well, you know, some say big crime or big business produces opportunities for big crime. Coming up, an accounting scandal drained accountants for some stockholders, but did it help Health South executives get rich? That story in a special report, The Perks of Profit.
At American Family Care, we treat allergies, bruises, headaches, and insect bites. American Family Care. Urgent care when you need urgent care. American Family Care. No appointment necessary. Allergy testing is now available.
I'll take the red one.
Good choice.
During Jeep Days, you can get a $2,500 cash allowance or 0% financing on any 2004 Grand Cherokee for 60 months. All with our 770 powertrain limited warranty. But hurry, Jeep Days end June 2nd.
Aniston's chemical weapons stockpile may be more deadly than you're being told. The Army downplays the effects of exposure to nerve agent, but that information could be misleading. Chris Tatum challenges conflicting information from 2 government agencies and proves why you should be concerned. Who can you trust? Tonight on ABC 3340 News at 10. The limited edition James Spann bobblehead doll is sweeping Central Alabama, and you know you want one. Watch ABC 3340 News for your chance to win.
Where can you find 5 vehicle lines under one roof, plus get 0% financing for 60 months on any new 03 on the lot? Only at Devan Lowe.
Save up to $9,500 in finance charges.
Take our low price, divide by 60, and that's your payment.
Now through the end of this week, get 0 APR on new Grand Ams and Grand Prix, Sierras, Envoys, and Yukons, or take up to $4,000 cash back.
Hurry to the 0% sales event. 5 vehicle lines, 1 location, and no interest for the life of the loan. That's Devan Lowe.
Here at Carl Cannon Chevrolet Cadillac in Jasper, we've got the lowest price on everything in stock.
Only one dealer has the lowest price on everything.
Is America great or what?
Pay no interest for 5 years on any new Chevy, or buy an extended cab Silverado, just $18,990. Trailblazer LTs, only $24,990. And Tahoe LSs with 3rd seat, $29,990.
Are you standard equipment or optional?
Seymour Trucks at the lowest price at Carl Cannon Chevrolet Cadillac in Jasper.
On Wheel of Fortune, Pat is always so suave, so in control. He's the perfect host.
No more caffeine before the show. Anna always looks fabulous, and she's the best co-host.
Here, let me show you how to do that. I would be lost without him.
There you go. You all right? I know I couldn't do the show without her.
Wheel of Fortune's dynamic duo.
Celebrating 20 years as America's game.
Tonight at 6:30 on ABC 3340.
Welcome back to Good Morning Alabama. The time is 5:49, holding at 67 degrees outside. We're checking quickly with the stories making headlines for this Friday morning. No word on what started a fire yet at Highland Elementary in Etowah County. Classes have been canceled. Remember, they only have a few days left in their school year. Questioning continues for a jury pool in the capital murder trial of Donald Ray Wheat in Anniston, charged with shooting 4 men at a Blockbuster video store 1 year ago. 131 potential jurors filled a Calhoun County courtroom Thursday. A big weekend for music festivals, Riverfest in Gadsden running through Saturday, while Birmingham's City Stages kicks off this evening. Well, you know, we have all seen the headlines of high finance scandals from Enron to WorldCom. Investors watched as their portfolios collapsed under the news of corporate fraud. And now those headlines have hit home as the Securities and Exchange Commission and the FBI set their sights on HealthSouth's headquarters. 11 executives have pleaded guilty so far, and HealthSouth's founder is awaiting an indictment by a federal grand jury. But how did they live prior to the end of the scheme? ABC 3340's Ike Piggott has more now on the perks of profit.
In some respects, those HealthSouth executives had done very well for themselves, but it's hard to say they all had the same motive because their situations were not at all identical. For a while, Birmingham's federal courthouse looked like it had a revolving door. People coming in to plead guilty, going out on bond, coming back to take the stand, and leaving without answering questions. Members of the so-called family at HealthSouth have admitted to years of fraudulent accounting by making revenues look better than they really were, and some got rich in the process.
Big business produces opportunities for big crime.
Dr. Bob Robichaux is a business professor at the University of Alabama. He says modern business is all about incentives. In salary alone, original Chief Financial Officer Aaron Beam made more than $833,000 in his last 3 years.
The numbers I've seen are not out of line with compensation for people in similar positions.
But that's not all. When you factor in bonuses and stock awards, Beam made another $1.1 million in that time.
Much like our football teams and our universities have discovered when they have to go out and find a new coach. If you want someone with certain skills and who has the charisma and the power to pull off what you're trying to accomplish, you're going to have to pay for it.
Those who followed Beam as CFO did even better under the incentives. From 1997 through 1999, Michael Martin averaged more than $375,000 a year in salary and averaged $1.4 million in bonuses. Bill Owen's total salary for the years 99 through 2001 was more than $1 million. He earned more than $3 million in extras during that same period. Again, not considered excessive.
What is reasonable is judged by the compensation committee on the board of directors.
Some of the executive salaries and perks are not public record, but judging by the homes they lived in, they weren't doing poorly until you compared them to the founder. Richard Scrushy has not been charged, but the feds have already tried staking a claim to his worth. Scrushy lives on this estate in Vestavia, when he's not living in this property in West Palm Beach, Florida, or any of the other various lake homes or boats. He had the most to lose when he created HealthSouth, and he should reap the biggest rewards. Scrushy's best year was 1997, when his $3.4 million salary was boosted by a $10 million bonus and $93 million from the sale of stock options. Prosecutors point to figures like that to establish a greed motive. Robichaux says investors need to remember figures like those, but not to dwell on them.
The system is not broken, but I do think that we have perhaps some individuals in the system who are breaking the rules.
Ultimately, those who've been caught will pay much more, possible prison sentences, in addition to giving up all of the ill-gotten gains. Ike Piggott, ABC 3340.
The U.S. Attorney's Office is leaving the door open for other possible conspirators to cut a deal. The grand jury meeting on Richard Scrushy's possible charges is expected to take 4 to 8 weeks. And right now, Pam Huff joins us live for a look at what's coming up during our next hour on this Friday. Pam?
Good morning to you, Keisa. Right now, it is up to school leaders in Etowah County to figure out how the students and the teachers at Highland Elementary School there are going to finish out this school year. Last night, as you have already seen this morning, the flames destroyed most of that campus located just north of Gadsden. We have more details coming up at 6 o'clock. Also, the state Senate has now approved a measure that calls for a vote in Shelby County on a proposed 9 mil property tax hike. The additional money would go to build more schools. But there are some efforts underway to fight that. We hope you'll stay with us for those stories and much more as Good Morning Alabama continues on this Friday morning. Keisa?
Well, a big entertainment weekend is ready to kick off in just a few hours in Central Alabama. We'll run down the list of events coming up, and hopefully Mark will give us some good news when it comes to the forecast. Will the rain stay away for the weekend? He's up next.
With so many awards from Mazda, we're keeping our acceptance speech to 2 words.
Zoom, zoom.
Zoom, zoom, zoom. Test the best at your Mazda dealer and see why Mazda Protege and Mazda Tribute rank #1 in car and driver comparison tests. And why Mazda Miata is the only 12-time Automobile Magazine All-Star. Plus, get 0.0% APR financing for 5 full years or $2,000 cash back on these 2003 Mazdas.
Yeah.
Test the best at your Birmingham area Mazda dealer now.
My radio station's gotta have good old classic soul. Let's get it on. Can't just be old school. I crave the new stuff. Don't need no hateration, holleration. Got to cry a little tenderness. I was made to love you. That's good. These lips.
98.7 KISS FM.
98.7 KISS FM. Smooth R&B and classic soul.
The best kept secret in golf in this area is Stoney Brook in Jacksonville. Loosen up on the driving range. Enjoy 18 holes on a great course for just $22 Monday through Thursday, including your cart. Seniors, just $20 for you. Get great deals in the pro shop. Shoes by Nike and Dexter from $39.95. Golf balls by Nike, MaxFly, Precept, and Top Flight. Clubs by Callaway and Nike. Plus golf apparel by all of the best. Stoney Brook Golf, behind Jacksonville Hospital, just off Highway 21.
How would you like to save thousands on a new 2003 F-150 Super Crew? Well, here at Jim Skinner Ford, you can. We have new full-size Super Crews starting from just $23,390, fully loaded with trailer towing package, automatic power windows and locks, CD player, bed extender, and much more. Just $23,390, and there's 0% financing available. So if you want to save thousands on a new 2003 F-150 Super Crew, come to Jim Skinner Ford, and remember, $100 says we'll beat your best deal regardless.
All new Oprah. From Chicago to San Francisco, Dallas to D.C., people boldly going where they've never gone before. They're stepping out of their box.
Can these billionaires go blue collar? Can this famous comic turn a stay-at-home mom into a stand-up star? Even my dad steps out of his barbershop and onto the red carpet. Meet Nashville's newest movie star.
I was just trying to learn my line.
Next Oprah.
Today at 4 on ABC 3340.
I'm Dave Baird. Thank you for watching ABC 3340.
Welcome back to Good Morning Alabama. Just a couple of minutes before the hour on this Friday. Turning to Keisa's Corner this morning. You know, you talk about one great weekend that features 2 really big festivals. The first happens in Gadsden with Riverfest. It's held right off the banks of the Coosa River each and every year. And then they close off a section of downtown Birmingham for city stages. Now, they've been preparing for this one since earlier in the week. It's the 15th annual event, by the way. And this time they're needing, quite frankly, a good crowd. Now, damp weather has hurt the numbers in the past. National Weather Service is planning to set up shop there in downtown Birmingham coming up this year. And then in Gadsden, more on Riverfest this year. More events kick off at 4 o'clock this afternoon. Musical acts like the country music groups Chad Brock and Daryl Singletary will be featured. Tomorrow, it's Gary Puckett and Styx, and then a fireworks show at 9 that night. Also want to tell you, coming up this weekend, city leaders are holding a Safe Summer Youth Rally. It happens Saturday starting at noon at Fair Park Arena. It will feature panels and workshops on various issues involving teen safety, from youth violence to teen pregnancy. Now, Martin Luther King III will give a brief speech to all of those who come out, and then local rapper Big Prophet will perform. It's an event that's sponsored by First Priority, and it is absolutely free. Mark Praiter will tell us what the forecast will look like, though, for the weekend right now. Mark?
All right, thanks, Keisa. And there is a lot going on this weekend. We'll talk about our chances of rain. Hopefully, we can dodge the rain showers and thunderstorms. We'll have much more coming up on the second hour of Good Morning Alabama, which begins right now.
Now live from Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, and Anniston, this is Good Morning Alabama with Pam Huff, Keisa Sharpe, and meteorologist Mark Praiter.
Good morning, Alabama. Just a few seconds shy of 6 a.m. and it is a Friday morning. We made it. I'm Keisa Sharpe.
That's great news, isn't it?
It is.
We do welcome you in. I'm Pam Huff. Right now, about 67 degrees outside. Meteorologist Mark Praiter is with us. He's going to have a check of the forecast, all-important weekend forecast, coming up in just a moment. But first, new this morning, the bystanders could really do very little but watch the flames tear across the campus of Highland Elementary School in Etowah County. Fire lit up the night sky just north of Gadsden as the school burned. Teachers gathered to try to comfort each other as the firefighters from several different departments worked to put out the flames. The building was more than 50 years old, but now the walls and a new cafeteria are about all that remain.
There was some wood structure in the roofing, you know, that was covered up and all that, but once the fire got into that, it moved very quickly.
Now, only 4 days remain in this school year. Obviously, there will be no school today, but over the weekend, school leaders hope to try to figure out a plan for Highland students and teachers to be able to complete the school year.
And Mark's standing by right now to tell us how the forecast is shaping up for this big weekend, entertainment-wise. Mark?
Well, Keisa, we're looking at the chance of some showers and a few thunderstorms. Can't seem to shake them, but we're not going to be looking at rain the whole time. Now, as we look at the temperatures across our area, we're warm, it's muggy out there, and we have some fog. We're looking at 68, not only in Birmingham, but also Montgomery, 72 now for Dothan. We'll look at temperatures warming up into the low and mid 80s again today with the chance of showers and thunderstorms roaming through the area. We'll have a complete look at your forecast for the weekend as well as the next 7 days coming up in just a few minutes. Keisa?
Thank you, Mark. In Anniston, potential jurors are due back in court coming up at 9 o'clock this morning for preliminary questioning in the capital murder trial of Donald Weed. He's charged with shooting 4 men at a Blockbuster video store last year. Weed entered pleas of innocent and innocent by reason of insanity. Nearly 200 potential jurors filled a Calhoun County courtroom Thursday. The judge may decide to move the trial to another location if he feels it will be too difficult to seat a jury.
In Shelby County, a vote on a property tax increase to build more schools may come this fall after all. Late Thursday afternoon, the Senate broke its logjam and passed a bill that will now allow Shelby County voters a chance to decide on a proposed 9 mil tax hike. County leaders had wanted approval much earlier, so a vote could actually have taken place this week.
We would know today, you know, we either have the capital or we don't have the capital. As it is, we wait and see.
Well, some say developers should make the needed contributions to schools in this fast-growing area. Those opposed to raising taxes had counted on the Senate's delay to spread their message. The Smart Growth Shelby County says taxes are not necessary. Administrators say that they need $150 million to make a 5-year building plan possible in that area. No property tax increase, though, will come in the city of Coleman. Voters there defeated a proposal to send additional tax dollars to schools. 1,900 people voted against the tax, just 1,400 voted for it. And that defeat may bring some cuts in school programs, including sports and in the arts. Governor Bob Riley wants more money for schools. To get it, he is supporting the largest tax hike in Alabama history.
Riley spoke at a commencement for Wallace State Community College in Hanceville last night. He says the state's need is great, but the treasury is small. The governor will push the tax plan in a special session. It begins Monday. It would also increase taxes for families with incomes over $75,000 a year, but families making less than $17,000 per year would pay no state income tax. Coming up today, the governor will focus his moves from taxes to water and from Alabama to Florida. Governor Riley is on his way to Tallahassee this morning to meet with Florida Governor Jeb Bush and Georgia Governor Sonny Perdue. They're discussing water sharing from 3 adjoining rivers.
I think we've just about reached an agreement with Georgia on the ACT basin. ACF is a little more complicated, but I think we have made more progress in the last 2 weeks than we have in the last couple of years. So I'm really encouraged about putting it all together.
The 3 states have been at odds on how much water each should be allowed to pull from the adjoining rivers. Now, in February, each of the governors agreed not to sue each other on the issue, at least until June.
Members of Alabama's Legislative Black Caucus say they will hold a hearing this summer on the University of Alabama's hiring of a white head coach over a black candidate. Reverend Jesse Jackson is mobilizing state leaders for a push to make hiring practices fairer. The controversy centers on the hiring of Mike Shula instead of African-American candidate Sylvester Croom. Representatives say if they uncover discrimination, they could introduce bills to make changes, or they could file a lawsuit in federal court. The Chicago-based Bring About Reform Association held a news conference of its own, though, criticizing Jesse Jackson Thursday. Members say Jackson stirring up the coaching issue is in keeping with previous moves.
Reverend Jackson has a history of race baiting, pulling a race card, usually for his own personal gain. Usually his motives are not altruistic. Usually his motives are self-serving. These are facts.
Derek Mosley also met with University of Alabama President Dr. Robert Witt. This morning, the University of Alabama's Coleman Coliseum will be filled with thousands of graduates and their families.
One student, though, will be missing. Track star David Kimani would have received his diploma. His widow will accept her late husband's degree in commerce and business. A memorial was held for Kimani last month. He died of unknown causes after collapsing after eating lunch. Well, Auburn University has lost one of its biggest fans and the voice of Tiger football and basketball.
Out of the shotgun like a gifted.
Veteran broadcaster Jim Fyffe is dead. The 57-year-old died after suffering an aneurysm Thursday. He was behind the radio mic at Auburn games for the last 22 years. A memorial is planned for tomorrow, coming up at 11 o'clock in Montgomery. Fyffe is survived by his wife, 5 children, 5 grandchildren, and 1 great-grandchild. Just ahead this morning on Good Morning Alabama, we'll show you what to look out for when signing up for free software online.
But first, additional cuts coming at Health South. More jobs are slashed to take care of the bottom line.
Higher stocks Thursday after 2 days of declines. Take a look at today's opening numbers.
Now live from Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, and Anniston, this is Good Morning Alabama with Pam Huff, Keisa Sharpe, and meteorologist Mark Praiter. Rely on ABC 3340, Alabama's news leader.
Shop a whole lot smarter with Smart Buys at Bruno's. This week, family packs of split chicken breasts are just 99 cents a pound. 2 pounds of premium hothouse vine cluster tomatoes are only $3. And 64-ounce cartons of all varieties of Minute Maid orange juice are buy one, get one free. Plus, remember to collect your Angus rewards at checkout to receive $20 worth of free Angus. Now through August 5th, ask your cashier for details. Smart Buys at Bruno's. Imagine the possibilities.
Out here, we learn about power. And what we learn, we pour into the street-legal trucks you can buy during Dodge Truck Power Month. We've pumped it up with your choice of low financing or generous cash allowances on our high-powered best, like the Hemi-powered Ram, Motor Trend's 2003 Truck of the Year. Plus, get our fully transferable 770 powertrain limited warranty. Ford, Chevy, and Toyota don't match it. Hurry, this event powers down May 31st, only at your New South Dodge dealer.
Now may be the best time ever to buy a Carrier heating and cooling system. Introducing Cool Cash, where you can get a rebate of up to $600 on qualifying new Carrier systems.
Hello, I'm Tom Kime. When you're having cooling problems, call Standard Heating, Air, and Plumbing. One call does it all. Now is a good time to call us and have your system inspected before the hot weather gets here. Call Standard Heating, Air, and Plumbing today. We set the standard for quality service, and you'll get those great Carrier rebates.
Carrier, 100 years of innovation.
For real solutions that grow your business, advertise in the Real Yellow Pages from Bell South and RealPages.com.
I'm Larry Sin with TSC, the service company. In the past, we've used competing directories, but we've found that the Real Yellow Pages are our best return on investment. Each time we've added a new service, we've let our customers know about it through the Real Yellow Pages, and that has worked for us.
Call 1-800-GET-REAL and see how you can get real advertising solutions from the Real Yellow Pages and RealPages.com.
Cadillac Escalade and the new Escalade ESV. Drive out loud. Cadillac. Breakthrough.
0% financing for 60 months on all new 2003 Cadillac Escalade models. Visit your Cadillac dealer.
welcome you back into Good Morning Alabama. The time now is almost 6:10 on this Friday morning. Let's take a check of business news. Birmingham-based HealthSouth's payroll continues to shrink as the company fights to ward off bankruptcy.
80 additional jobs were eliminated Thursday. That brings the total number of non-clinical jobs lost to 245 now. The latest cuts, though, include half of the corporate security force, and the company has gotten rid of 6 planes. It still wants to sell 5 more. In a statement, HealthSouth said it has positive cash flow and its patient volume and referral rates are still strong, but there's still a need to save money because of the accounting scandal.
In Money Talks this morning, when it comes to web surfing, it's great to get free information and a lot of free programs. But here's the question, are those downloads really free? Stacey Johnson has the story of how your privacy can be violated and what you may be able to do about it.
We probably don't have much to worry about when it comes to invasions from outer space. But invasions from cyberspace? That's a different story entirely. Many websites that offer free information and/or free software require you to agree to their terms of service before you get to use their site, which may mean agreeing to programs designed to serve up ads. Result? A lot of this. And maybe the collection of demographic and other information about you that could potentially be sold to the highest bidder. Let's see how this works. Here I am downloading one free program that allows me to share files with other web surfers. But am I downloading something a little extra? No way to tell until I run this special program specifically designed to ferret out potential advertising software. And what have we here? An embedded program that I've apparently agreed to use whose sole purpose is to serve up pop-up ads. What's cool about technology, though, is that as fast as ad people can find ways to put their foot through your door, anti-ad people can find ways to chop it off. For example, here's a free program I downloaded that detects and eliminates ad-serving programs. Now, if I do eliminate the ad-serving program, though, I'm in violation of the agreement I struck to access this website. Still, it's nice to know that if I do want to fight against invasions from cyberspace, I can. For Money Talks, I'm Stacey Johnson. Money Talks is brought to you by your local consumer credit counseling service. If you've got debt problems or just want some free budget counseling, call today.
And Mark's standing by with a check of the forecast. Listening to you earlier, it seems like there's really no way that we'll avoid seeing the rain sometime this weekend.
I'm afraid not, and we're about to have a wave move in here. So as this wave moves in, or this disturbance area of low pressure, however you want to look at it, brings us another shot at some showers and thunderstorms. We're going to add that to the chance of scattered storms today. We'll talk about much more, though, in our forecast coming up in just a couple of minutes.
I understand the wave moving in a little better than that low disturbance. Thank you, Mark.
Sure.
Well, she says she's ready to get back into character. Later on Good Morning Alabama, Renee Zellweger will do what it takes, she says, to star in a Bridget Jones sequel.
But first, a local doctor spearheads efforts to help fibromyalgia patients get on with their lives. It's coming up.
I sacrifice my weekends printing high-volume jobs and never get a thank you. He says things like win-win situation and gets a company car. If only I had better room presence.
Toshiba copiers make you look good.
I do all her copying, faxing, and printing, and she barely says hi. Jim takes my copies to her desk, and now they're sushi buddies. Oh, super.
Toshiba copiers make you look good.
At Crown Pontiac, we believe that being number one happens one customer at a time. I'm Bob Crewthirds, and we want our customers to enjoy their experience here at Crown Pontiac. Your automobile purchase is important to you, and you're important to Crown. Right now, get 0% financing for 60 full months on all new 2003 Pontiacs in stock. It's amazing how affordable a Crown Pontiac is, and now with 0%, how can you go wrong? Crown Pontiac, 1 mile north of the Galleria on Highway 31 in Hoover. And thanks, Birmingham.
think it's hard to fit 15 baseball games into a 5-day tournament? Try fitting 15 games of highlights into 30 seconds. The SEC Baseball Tournament, May 21st to the 25th at the Hoover Met. Don't miss a second of it.
Hey.
Hi.
Thanks.
Thanks.
The new Beetle convertible. One good thing leads to another.
Meteorologist Mark Praiter is certified by the National Weather Association. His pinpoint Doppler forecast is coming up. This portion of the news is brought to you by your local Birmingham Metro Ford dealers.
We welcome you back to Good Morning Alabama. The time now is 6:16 on a Friday morning. If you're just joining us, here's a quick check of some of your morning headlines. Fire destroyed Highland Elementary School in Etowah County overnight. All that remains is the school's new cafeteria and some walls.
Lawmakers say Governor Riley's tax proposal will hit corporations, banks, big landowners, and upper-income individuals the hardest. A special session of the legislature to consider the proposals begins Monday.
HealthSouth Corporation cut another 80 positions, including half the corporate security force. Jim Goudreau, former CEO Richard Scrushy's personal bodyguard, was among those let go. Right now, let's get our first check of rush hour traffic. It is a Friday morning, and here's Michael Christopher.
Morning. Everything is looking good right now. Interstates are accident-free. Secondary roads are accident-free. Thus, you'll find nothing slowing you down as you make your way in and around Birmingham this morning. This report is brought to you by Pizza Hut. Order online at pizzahut.com. I'm Michael Christopher in the ABC 3340 Traffic Center.
We know many of you are making weekend plans that may include some of the festivals like Riverfest or city stages, and so you're probably wondering what you need to prepare for in the forecast, and Mark Praiter has some answers.
Well, we're probably going to see some showers and thunderstorms. I wish I had better news, but that's how it's turning out. And you know, last night we did have a few breaks in the clouds, which was a nice treat considering the fact we've seen so much rain and so many thunderstorms. And we had a chance to glimpse at the lunar eclipse. Hopefully you had a chance to go outside and have a look-see. The total eclipse was the first visible one across the U.S. in the past 3 years. Now, a total lunar eclipse occurs when they turn the light off in the moon. And no, I'm kidding. They actually, what happens is the Earth passes between the sun and the moon, and the shadow is what blocks the rays sun, or the sun rays that are normally shining and reflecting onto the moon. So you can see, as we caught the video there last night, pretty cool, very interesting, and we'll probably see another one here in a few years. Now, our temperatures are actually into the 60s and still warming up just a bit. With 69 right now in Birmingham, the warm spot is Gadsden at 70, and we have some patchy fog out there. So some of your visibility may be down in a few spots, but we're not necessarily looking at widespread dense fog. But there are some spots where we did have rain that the moisture is starting to condense right near the surface. And as we go through the course of the day today, we're starting out dry, but we could see a few showers or a thunderstorm pop up at any time. And with the unstable atmosphere, a lot of times once we heat up the atmosphere, by early afternoon, just like in the summer, we see these showers and a few thunderstorms start to develop at random, and they'll likely drift towards the east, as you see the ones that moved out of Alabama and into Georgia last night. Really shifted more towards the east-southeast and haven't been a problem for us in the past few hours. What we had across South Alabama actually died out after the sun went down, so we didn't have much in the way of rain in the state overnight. But we still could see some rain, as our predictor system, the composite of computer models, is showing the showers and a few thunderstorms scattered across north and central Alabama. And we could see a few heavier storms across the northwest counties, according to the computers, and back out over not only Arkansas, but also eastern Oklahoma, as well as Texas. We could be looking at strong to severe weather, and that wave is moving our direction this weekend. So as we head towards the middle of the weekend, you see this big comma out here, this big blob of cloud cover. That is going to make its move towards Mississippi and eventually Alabama for late Saturday as well as into Sunday. So we are looking at a frontal boundary wavering to our north and not giving us a problem at all. We're just going to stay in this very tropical setup across the southeast. And tomorrow we'll see this front shifting through Arkansas and eventually into Mississippi as we get into tomorrow night. And then by Sunday, it looks like we could still have a pretty good chance of showers and thunderstorms, as we've talked about all week. And fortunately, once this system moves out, we should start to see our rain chances going down, and we'll warm up just a bit more by the first of next week. So today, expect a partly cloudy forecast, a few showers possible with a high of 82, winds out of the southwest at 5 to 12. And later tonight, we'll see scattered storms possible with the overnight lows into the upper 60s. Now, as we talk about our 7-day planner, a pretty fair chance that we'll see showers and thunderstorms at times over the weekend, maybe even more so by Sunday. And then a few showers linger into early Monday. But Monday night, as well as Tuesday and Wednesday, things start to clear out just a bit, and our temperatures stay pretty mild.
Fibromyalgia patients experience a multitude of mysterious ailments that can cause dysfunction in the body.
They can, but as ABC 3340's Linda Mays tells us, one Birmingham doctor's prescription combines traditional and natural medicines to restore function and reduce chronic pain.
You been having any soreness in particular this week?
It's the top part of my back.
It's been a huge turnaround for Paula Waldrop. Chronic pain routinely attacks her whole body.
I have it, my back, in my hands, my feet, my legs.
Dr. Roger Murphy says fibromyalgia can throw all the body's systems out of whack, and the best way to fix them is through diet with nutrition, replacing much-needed vitamins and minerals.
Without magnesium, the cells don't produce the energy that they need to, so you have fatigue. Without magnesium, the muscles go into spasm because magnesium is a natural muscle relaxer.
IV therapy is used to get nutrients into a patient's system quickly.
What we have found over the last 4 years is that individuals who get the IV intravenous vitamin mineral therapy, they have less pain, they think clearer, they're able to sleep better, and they have more energy.
It's not a cure, but it's relief.
Usually the entire week.
Part of the solution to fibromyalgia is in the patient's hands. Dr. Murphy's guide for patients to stay healthy is detailed in his new book.
They're always going to have to pay attention to their body.
Linda Mays, ABC 3340.
And Dr. Murphy says it is also crucial for fibromyalgia patients to watch their stress levels and always to try to get enough sleep.
Breast cancer patients have a new treatment available. The focused radiation system helps dramatically cut down on the treatment time for patients who've had a lumpectomy. It's designed to treat only the area in the breast surrounding the lump without radiating the entire breast. Well, Halle Berry is off the set of her new movie. Just ahead on Good Morning Alabama, an on-site accident results in a broken arm.
Plus, casting calls for a new production. Jude Law joins other big names in a Martin Scorsese, I cannot never say that man's name, Scorsese flick. It doesn't come out right.
So what'd you do this weekend?
Went to the supermarket. The dry cleaners. Did my recycling. Oh, and we went to her mom's.
That's too bad.
Not really.
Here's something everyone 65 and over needs. The C+ card from Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama. The C+ card gives you all the protection you need by supplementing your Medicare coverage. To learn more, call now. 1-800-315-7900. Think of the C+ card as the card that's always there when you need it. To smooth out all the bumps in life, the C+ card eliminates extra claim forms when you use a PMD doctor. It helps with the high cost of prescription drugs by providing discounts at more than 900 preferred pharmacies statewide. And it lets you go to any of the 8,000 doctors and hospitals in Alabama covered by C+. Get the protection that only the C+ card can provide. To enroll, call 1-800-315-7900. 1-800-315-7900. Call now.
Excuse me.
Dad,
Don't look.
Well, you're wearing a towel.
No, don't look at the scale.
Maybe you should be eating Total cereal.
I eat Special K, thank you.
You know, a study of calcium supplements and reduced calorie diets suggests you could lose more weight and burn more fat by adding more calcium to your diet plan.
So?
Only Total has 100% daily value of calcium. Special K is hardly any.
Say no more. I'll take the Total.
You're still here, aren't you?
Yeah, just leaving. Total. A smart way to lose the weight.
I've been buying cars at Edward Chevrolet since I was 18 years old.
Just signed the papers, and 5 minutes later, truck was mine.
Financing was excellent.
Edwards had the best deal I could ever find.
No pressure at Edwards, no hassle at Edwards.
I came on the lot and I found exactly what I wanted.
And I found out that I could get what I wanted for the amount of money that I wanted from Edward Chevrolet.
No one else could give us a deal as good as Edward Chevrolet.
Chevyman.
This morning, the country music world mourns the passing of a classic. June Carter Cash died in Nashville of complications from heart surgery. She was 74 years old. June Carter was the daughter of Maybelle Carter, the matriarch of the Carter music family. June was married to country music legend Johnny Cash. Renee Zellweger is actually ready to get back into character, and Halle Berry is on the mend. With those stories and much more, here's today's entertainment report.
Halle Berry broke her right arm while filming a scene for the thriller Gothica on location in Canada. The Oscar-winning actress was in the 5th week of a 9-week shoot. It's unclear when she will be able to return to the set. The movie is set to be released in October.
We'll find nice, sensible boyfriend to go out with. And
Renee Zellweger may be ready to reprise her role as Bridget Jones. The star says they are talking about a sequel to the hit movie. She says she's more than willing to gain weight to play the character. Production could begin this autumn.
I'm excited to meet anyone in my category.
Jude Law is in talks to play film legend Errol Flynn in Martin Scorsese's movie The Aviator. Leonardo DiCaprio and Nicole Kidman have already signed up to star in the film about the early years of Howard Hughes.
Okay, George.
Clint Eastwood will be honored at the Cannes Film Festival with the Golden Coach Award in recognition of his talent and originality. Eastwood's latest movie, Mystic River, is in contention for the prestigious Golden Palm Award. That's what's happening in Hollywood. Carla Wohl, ABC News.
And here's a look at our radar across the eastern half of the U.S. It's pretty quiet here in the south, but notice things are very active across Oklahoma. Again, they're looking at more severe weather this morning as this whole complex of thunderstorms is on the east side of an area of low pressure, which is spinning around the panhandle of Texas. That's going to continue to move towards the east and will start to affect us as we head into the weekend. So we could see some heavy rain as well as some strong storms at times, especially as we head into Saturday night as well as into Sunday. We'll have much more in our forecast, though, coming up in just a few minutes. Pam?
Right now, it's time to say congratulations to Margaret King of Hoover. She's the birthday giveaway winner today. Margaret gets a free birthday cake, courtesy of Food World and ABC 3340.
And we want to tell you that if your birthday is this month and you'd like to enter the contest, there is still time. Just send us a postcard here at ABC 3340 Birthday Contest. That's P.O. Box 361050 and Birmingham, Alabama 35244. Congratulations to all of our winners this week. Here's a look at what's coming up, though, at 6:30. A move by state lawmakers puts Shelby County voters one step closer to a decision on higher property taxes.
But first this morning, an Etowah County school goes up in flames just days before the students were to get out for summer. Those stories and more as Good Morning Alabama continues. It is Friday morning.
You're 2 years old, which means you're developing a strong sense of self. This week, yourself is a superhero. You're wearing Pampers Easy Ups. They go up easy, and they fit just like underwear. To you, they're super underwear. Easy Ups, inspired by toddlers, created by Pampers.
Easiest way to your next car or truck is at exit 76 off I-59. That's where you'll find us, Barkley Pontiac-Cadillac-GMC.
We're a GM Mark of Excellence dealer, and we make it easy by giving you Bama's best prices and backing it up with service that's second to none.
Because we'll give you more for your trade, there's always a great selection of quality used cars and trucks, plus GM program vehicles.
So let us show you how easy it is to make one of them yours. Barkley and Tuscaloosa.
We're professional grade.
Anniston's chemical weapons stockpile may be more deadly than you're being told. The Army downplays the effects of exposure to nerve agent, but that information could be misleading. Chris Tatum challenges conflicting information from 2 government agencies and proves why you should be concerned. Who can you trust? Tonight on ABC 3340 News at 10. Covering dangerous weather to keep you ahead of the storm. Storm Chaser 3340, sponsored by Sarah Automotive and ABC 3340, Alabama's news leader. Now live from Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, and Anniston, this is Good Morning Alabama with Pam Huff, Keisa Sharpe, and meteorologist Mark Praiter.
Good morning, Alabama. We welcome you in. It is Friday morning. That's great news, and we're glad you're with us. I'm Pam Huff.
And I'm Keisa Sharpe. It's 69 degrees out there already on this Friday morning. And Mark, we've got a lot of events going on across the state this weekend. The weather's been a mixed bag. So will we see that continue?
Well, actually, Keisa, I think we'll see the chance of showers and thunderstorms become a little more likely as we get later into the weekend. Right now, things are looking okay. We've got some fog out there and a few mid and upper level clouds passing the state. But as you see on the satellite view, it does get thicker in cloud cover across Arkansas and Louisiana. And we do anticipate that our rain chances will start to increase again as well as a new storm system moves towards Alabama. We'll have a complete update on the forecast for the weekend, and we'll also have a look at your pick city for today coming up later. Keisa?
We thank you. New this morning, there is very little left. Fire destroyed an Etowah County school last night. The scene at Highland Elementary School. Take a look. This morning, investigators are going to try to figure out what caused those flames. Here's ABC 3340's Chris Tatum with more.
It's just like part of your life being taken away from you.
Debbie Elliott has 31 years invested in Highland School, 7 as a student, 24 as a teacher. Thursday night, she stood beside fellow faculty members as the school they love, the school that's been such a big part of their lives, went up in smoke, and a lifetime of memories became buried in the charred rubble.
I teach in the same classroom that I was in the 1st and 2nd grade in, and I just thought back to when I was a child.
Teachers held hands, held each other as the blaze lit up the night sky just north of Gadsden. It spread quickly through the 50-some-odd-year-old building, tangling tin, melting metal, and crumbling concrete. It demolished the school with just 4 days left in the school year.
Now, this community is a real strong community that's built around this school.
Even the superintendent came out to comfort teachers. He's been working to improve Highland School, like building this new cafeteria. Now it's about all that's left.
Certainly there was some wood structure in the roofing, you know, that was covered up and all that, but once the fire got into that, it moved very quickly.
But these teachers are a source of strength for each other, and while they're not sure what's next for the school or themselves,
We always back each other up, and we'll do that this time. We'll just work together as a team.
right now their greatest concern is their students. In Etowah County, Chris Tatum. Good Morning Alabama.
Obviously, classes are canceled today. By next week, though, school leaders hope to have a plan for finishing that school. Well, coming up next week, Bush Middle School students will finish out their school year back in their own school.
I'm sure they're glad to be back. Cleanup work has been completed at the Birmingham school. A fire at the school last month caused a lot of smoke damage. A contracting company has since scrubbed down the halls, repainted, and laid down new carpeting. School workers will move the furniture back into the school tomorrow, and we are told that students will be back in classes there on Monday. It appears that Shelby County voters will have an opportunity to decide whether to raise taxes to help build more schools in that county. Late Thursday afternoon, the Senate passed a bill that calls for a referendum on a proposed 9 mil tax increase. County leaders had wanted approval much earlier so that a vote could have actually taken place this week. Administrators say they need $150 million more to fund a 5-year building plan. However, a citizens group called Smart Growth Shelby County says higher taxes aren't necessary. That group wants the developers to make the needed contributions.
The people have spoken in Coleman. That city will not see higher property taxes. By a vote of roughly 1,900 to 1,400, voters defeated a plan to send some additional money to schools. The defeat may bring cuts in school programs, including sports and art. And in Washington, President Bush praised U.S. senators for passing a tax cut bill that's half of what he originally proposed. Last night, the Senate okayed legislation that would cut taxes by $350 billion. The 51-49 vote was largely along party lines. Mr. Bush issued a statement early this morning saying it is a bipartisan package. It includes all of the components of his original plan.
More cost-cutting comes to Birmingham-based Health South Corporation. 80 additional jobs were lost Thursday, including half the corporate security force. That brings the total number of non-clinical job cuts to 245. And Health South is getting rid of another one of its airplanes. The company that owns the plane had sued Health South to recover $9 million in missed payments. Health South says it has actually gotten rid of 6 planes and wants to dispose of 5 more. The rehabilitation giant has been under the government's microscope for a while now, with 11 former executives admitting to accounting or bank fraud.
Governor Bob Riley takes on the biggest selling job of his political career, starting with a special legislative session Monday. He has to first convince the lawmakers to accept the largest tax increase in this state's history. Then he must convince the voters. Riley spoke at a commencement for Wallace State Community College in Hanceville last night. While he wants the people to help with Alabama's massive budget shortfalls, he also wants the lawmakers to pitch in.
So what we're bringing is a reform package that has accountability, has reform, and has taxes. And then we're going to bring it to the people and say, you decide. If you really want to reform government once and for all, this is the way to do it.
Governor Riley's plan would increase taxes for families with incomes over $75,000 a year, but families making less than $17,000 would pay no state income tax.
His voice was synonymous with Auburn sports. How many times have we heard that? Veteran broadcaster Jim Fyffe, though, is dead. The 57-year-old died of a brain aneurysm. He was behind the radio microphone at Auburn football and basketball games for the last 22 years. A memorial is planned for tomorrow at 11 in Montgomery.
In other news of the day, an urgent need now for flooding cleanup still exists in much of this state. This weekend, you have a chance to help. As we've shown you, the high water did a number on the Cahaba Girl Scouts camp near Coleman, or Camp Coleman, make that, near Trussville. The camp must be up and running again by June 1st. So tomorrow, it's flood cleanup day, and it starts at 9 o'clock in the morning. The volunteers are needed to clear brush, rebuild benches, paint, and also help with general flood cleanup. Now, crews from Alabama Gas and Alabama Power are coming to help clear roads in the camp. Need more information? That's 980-4750.
Quite a job out there. They do need your help. Just ahead on Good Morning Alabama, will the weather cooperate with your weekend plans? Mark Praiter, of course, has a look at the complete forecast.
But first, if you're still making some plans, it's a wild weekend across the entire state. I'm going to show you some of the items on the agenda next.
No representation is made that the quality of the dental services to be performed is greater than the quality of dental services performed by other dentists.
Affordable Dentures. We're committed to giving you personal patient care at an affordable price. Your denture will be individually crafted right here in our office by our skilled lab technicians. All our dentures are made from materials accepted by the American Dental Association. You can even get them the same day if you come in early enough. Call 1-800-DENTURE for personal denture care.
Hungry? I mean really hungry? Try the Big Breakfast at McDonald's. Fluffy scrambled eggs, a sausage patty, hot biscuit, and hash browns, all for only $2.22. Big Breakfast at McDonald's for only $2.22. Now that's a big deal.
The new 2004 Pontiac Grand Prix is turning some heads. Firmly planted to the road, the V6 feels as if it's a V8. Outclasses Accord and Camry. Finance this Pontiac fuel for the soul starting at 3.9% APR. Then check out the standard features that are extra or not available on much of the competition. It's time for a test drive. See your local Pontiac dealer today.
To me, a hat trick. When I close my eyes, I dream of soccer.
Nice turn, gets it in behind the defense. Shot!
When I close my eyes, I see the cup.
The stars of the U.S. women's soccer team face England Saturday, May 17th, 12 noon at Legion Field. Presented locally by Alabama Power. Come watch the U.S. team continue its inspiring journey to the Women's World Cup. Call Ticketmaster at 800-277-1700 or go to ussoccer.com.
The U.S. women's soccer team live the dream.
Honey, I don't know about you, but I am not mopping with dirty water. Yuck!
And now we don't have to, because there's new Don't Mop with Dirty Water Again Pine Sol Cleaner. It's a whole new formula. Watch this. Dirt gets pulled to the bottom of the bucket. Isn't that amazing? So now your mop water looks like this. Not this. New Don't Mop with Dirty Water Again Pine Sol Cleaner. The power of Pine Sol, the smell of clean.
Put a Dodge in your garage from Jasper Chrysler Dodge. Ram pickups start at $14,990. Quad cabs or loaded caravans just $19,990. Or pay no interest for 5 years. Your lowest Dodge price is at Jasper Chrysler Dodge, where one sale sells another. Honda prices just got lower at Jasper Honda. Civics are just $147 a month plus 1.9 APR for 5 years. Accords a low $209 a month. Or get 4.9 APR for 5 years on pre-owned Hondas. Jasper Honda, where one sale sells another.
We welcome you back into Good Morning Alabama. The time now almost 6:40. And guess what? The biggest street party to hit Birmingham kicks off a little later this evening.
Oh, my. All week, event organizers have been setting up the tents and getting ready for the 15th annual City Stages. The festival area fills more than a dozen square blocks downtown. Don't forget now, portions of several streets already closed for this event.
Organizers, of course, are hoping for a high turnout this year. At times, in years past, of course, the weather has hurt the numbers. But the good music, the great food, and wonderful family activities have always had their supporters.
This year, we raised $250,000 from just individuals, corporations, and foundations who want to see this event continue because it puts about $10 million into our economy every year, year after year.
Now, the National Weather Service has actually set up a temporary office at the downtown site. Not that it can prevent the rain, but at least they can advise the crowds and tell everybody exactly what's happening.
Okay, so we know that it's happening, but the next question is who will be there? There are dozens of bands performing from today through Sunday.
And, of course, this evening's headliners include Bob Dylan performing at 8:30 on the Miller Lite stage, and Nickel Creek will be on the Blockbuster stage starting at 9:15.
Other big names this weekend, Willie Nelson and family, along with Buddy Guy, Ludacris, and Frankie Beverly and Mays. Well, the Coosa Riverfront in downtown Gadsden is ready for another weekend of music and fun. Riverfest events continue this afternoon. They start at 4. Country music artists Chad Brock and Daryl Singletary. Tomorrow, some of the same with Gary Puckett and Styx highlighting performances. And don't forget that coming up tomorrow night, there is a Spirit of America fireworks show. It happens at 9 o'clock. Well, this weekend is the big public debut, too, of the Barber Motorsports Park.
Different sort of music, sort of, yes, the hum of the engines. The new raceway in Leeds is hosting the Grand American Road Racing event there. The park is set up for families. There is hillside seating, so bring out your lawn chairs, get your blankets out, and you sit near the track. Motorhome parking is also available. Now, today, practices for this weekend's race are open to the public. Tomorrow and Sunday, 3 races will run the course each day, and they're going to continue rain or shine. That's very important out there. We should also say that very proud Cross Creek Productions, right out of Pelham, is actually going to be providing all of the video for the broadcast that's going to be seen on, I think it's ESPN. So
a lot of people are excited about that opening out there, and I actually want to get a chance to go out and see what it's all about.
It should be a lot of fun. Well, and whether there's rain in our forecast, let's see, what all did we talk about there? That's the big question this morning.
And coming up next, Mark Praiter. He has answers. He has your pinpoint down the forecast.
Hi, see more trucks at the lowest price here at Carl Cannon Chevrolet Cadillac in Jasper.
These days, everyone wants the lowest price on their pickups.
I can't imagine why.
Pay no interest for 5 years on any new Chevy, or buy an extended cab Silverado, just $18,990. Trailblazer LTs, only $24,990. And Tahoe LSs with third seat, $29,990.
Only one place has the lowest price. Why don't you come and see us sometime?
See more trucks at the lowest price at Carl Cannon Chevrolet Cadillac in Jasper.
Tired of looking out for that one spot that's not as worn out as you? Shop Haverty's Memorial Day sale and receive a king-size set for a queen-size price on select Sealy and Serta models. Haverty's offers guaranteed low prices, plus free removal of old bedding, free setup, and free bed frame with premium set purchase. Plus, no interest until 2005. Haverty's. Sleep well.
There's a neighborhood where you get only half of what you need. Local and long distance. Are you comfortable with only half the services? Now you can get it all with Bell South. Introducing unlimited long distance and local, combined with singular wireless and internet for great savings, all on one bill. Call now for up to $100 cash back. When you know where to get the whole answer, why sniff around a neighborhood that only offers half? Bell South. Listening, answering.
Redesigned, re-engineered 2003 Lincoln Town Car is getting a lot of attention these days because it has best-in-class front headroom and legroom, best-in-class shoulder room, best-in-class trunk space, and it's over $4,000 less than Cadillac DeVille. Save even more with $5,000 cash back. See your local Lincoln dealer today for their best deal.